Alright everyone, we are now ready with Spider-Man 2002. This is actually a TAS run. It should be pretty entertaining, kicking off the Spider-Man blocks. So I'm going to throw it over to Natetheman223 for the Spider-Man 2002 TAS.
So, how you doing, Strudel?
Nervous.
Too.
I think we're live.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. So, if everyone's ready, then we can start the countdown in we can start the timer, pardon me, in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is a tool-assisted speedrun of Spider-Man 2002 for the GameCube. A tool-assisted speedrun. There's a whole lot to explain, but it's essentially a perfect speedrun of the game. It was a lot of work. It took a few weeks to actually complete, but I'm glad I did it because I think it's really fun to watch. So the loading screens are pretty long. It's no big deal, I'd say. But so for our first level here, there's a few objectives. We need to take out 6 thugs around the area, around the map, and then the last 2 thugs will appear in a specific location.
The story behind this mission is that Uncle Ben was murdered, and the murderer is the leader of this Skull gang. So Spider-Man or Toby or Peter, he interrogates all of these thugs to find their location or their hideout.
Yeah. So we found the location of the hideout thanks to the guy that we interrogated over there, and now we can go to the exit point of the level. So almost every level has an exit point that's just a spider icon. You just go to it and it finishes a level. So during the loading screen, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to talk about the next level because a lot of things happen really fast. So you'll see that I utilize the ability to web zip right off the bat through this warehouse and take out a few specific thugs when the time is necessary. So web zip through here, through the door, and then web yank this thug to the door because you can push enemies through doors and then jump on their head to go through the door. So we have to turn off the power and then quickly make our way through the vents and take out this thug. And since we were able to clip through the door, it actually breaks the entire sequence of the level. So we're able to skip like 2 minutes worth of level. So we have to take out these thugs by throwing bombs at them and swing kicking them and, just like a whole lot of combat task tech. It's really interesting, I'd say. So
yeah, the RTA method is just wearing web gloves, which increase damage, and just punch these thugs. And as you see on the TAS, it's much, much faster.
Yeah. So now for the third level, we have to start by going through the vent because we're looking for Uncle Ben's killer still. So for this room, normally you'd have to take out a bunch of enemies, but you can use this thug here to push through the door and then clip through the door and go straight to the boss room. And so we jump kick and then web ball and then equip web gloves and just chunk him. It's pretty easy stuff, but if you're actually like playing, it's normally kind of an annoying fight because he'll shotgun blast you whenever you try to do a homing attack on him, or just shotgun blast you randomly. So Uncle Ben's killer has been knocked out, and now we get our suit, our real suit. So we have to start by taking a couple pictures of ourselves. It's, like this level's really nothing particularly interesting, but... Okay, so when you meet the requirements for a picture to be taken, it'll automatically be taken. There's no button to do it. So we got the pictures of ourselves for the Daily Bugle, and now we have to take out these robots. They normally spawn coming from the sky, But if you crawl on the wall, they'll spawn below you, and then you can just swing kick them all while they're still all bunched up like that. So you can take out 4 of them for like the first wave there, or 6 of them right here. So, what's next here? So for the next level, we're going to learn about one of the villains in the game, the Shocker. So this upcoming level utilizes the combat of the game, or like specifically the tools that can be used in combat here. So I start off by swing kicking this group of thugs and intentionally looking away from their spawn point, so that way they all spawn like back to back to back like this. And then use web gloves and this elbow strike to KO them in one hit. So this room, it's a lot of sauce. It's a lot to explain. It's unfortunate I don't actually have time to explain all of it. But anyway, so there's 2 thugs here that fight this cop. If you go near the area where the cop is too soon, he'll spawn on the other side of the room, which would lose time. So now we have to save the civilian. He's very blind. He just uses his cell phone and he has no idea what's going on. So we took out those 3 thugs and then make our way to the back room of the Grand Central Terminal, which is what this whole area is based on. So there's another group of like 8 thugs here. By using web gloves and uppercuts, I can just take them all out in one hit, like back to back to back again. And that's the end of the level. It was like a combat exhibition.
Great stuff.
Yeah. So for the next level here, it's Chase Through the Sewer. It's probably one of the most remembered levels in the game because it's just like long and it's near the start. So we have to start off here by web zipping down this hallway. Normally we'd have to take out the armored thug on the other side of the room to get a key for that door, but we can just clip through the door by using that thug there. And then we can also clip through this door by using this thug as well. So we make our way down through the sewer, and the water was turned on, so we can't get through, so we have to actually take out this thug to get the valve to shut off the water. There's actually a glitch to get through the pipe early, which we're able to utilize slightly, but we can't utilize it fully because we have to get web gloves down here. Advanced web gloves, which allow us to do even more damage than just normal web gloves. So now we're in this room. Normally you'd have to take out like 10 thugs or whatever, but by web yanking a thug down into this lower area and pushing him through the door, we can skip all that, activate the switch, and enter the end of the level.
Yeah, the RTA uses 2 different thugs. One to clip inside and one to clip outside of that room.
Yeah. But, you know, TAS doesn't need to do any of that. So for this level, it's Showdown with Shocker. We finally caught up to Shocker, and we'll be taking him out here. So Shocker shoots blasts down each railway, but by web zipping, we can just easily avoid them and make our way down through the subway. So web zips are extremely fast, but they have limited range, so you can't use them everywhere. And then Shocker, well, we get to utilize our double web gloves here to chunk him down in like 6 hits. So something you might notice about this game is it's kind of like a boss rush. Like, you fight one boss and then you like do 2 levels and then like another boss and then like do another level and then another boss. So this level, I mostly want to let it speak for itself, but I'll just say that the web zips and angles here are pretty much all frame and angle perfect. Normally you'd have to take like a long route and all this stuff, but just by using like being in a tool assisted speedrun, it doesn't have to do any of that.
Enjoy this sick movement.
Yeah. So that's Vulture's lair done in like 30 seconds.
Alright, now it's time for an auto-scroller, so sort of. It's a chase. He might take two different paths, but because this is a TAS, Nate obviously manipulated his movement to take the faster route. Also, there's rubber banding, meaning that you're supposed to be as close to Vulture as possible in order for him to move at max speed all the time.
Yeah. So Vulture has to destroy two structures, or try to, and then I can web them up and then continue the chase. So that was the first one right there. And then Vulture could take two paths right here, but I manipulate him to take the faster one. Yeah, this is a TAS. And so then Vulture tries to destroy the water tower here, but you can also web it up to continue on with the level. So, so there's not like a whole lot to say about this level aside from just like stay really close to Vulture and just like fix the structures as they get destroyed. So so if you have anything to say, Strudel, now's the time.
I have a question. The game utilizes two different game mechanics: enhanced combat and classic combat. I believe that's the term. Would you like to explain? I don't think we have time because the boss has to be explained.
Yeah. We can explain it later then. The combat differences. So the Vulture boss here is Vulture has two health bars, quote unquote. The first one is blue, and that's his shield. When his shield is empty, he retreats down to the building, and that's where you can deal damage to his red health bar. So you can notice I picked up the combo Sting there. That'll be effective later. But for now, let's use our double web gloves to take down Vulture in a single cycle. So normally, you would only deal some damage to Vulture, and he would fly back up, and then you'd have to knock him down again. But by using a specific series of attacks, you can just have him... You can defeat him in a singular cycle without him flying back up.
It is RTA available, although it's extremely hard.
Yeah. So for this level, there's 10 spiders in this room, mechanical spiders, and you have to destroy all of them to complete the level. They don't actually spawn in random locations, but they move around randomly, which makes this level extremely difficult in just speedruns because RNG, you know? So by like swing kicking and using homing kicks and web balls, I can just take out all these spiders really fast. And then also worth noting that on higher difficulties, way more spiders spawn, and you have to take out every single one of them to complete the level.
The story behind this is Scorpion is chased by these spiders, and the spider just happens to be there, and he helps him. But Scorpion thinks that Spider-Man is also chasing him, so now they fight.
Yeah, well, if you can really call it a fight, but what happens is we chunk down Scorpion with our double web gloves and the Sting combo we picked up earlier.
Scorpion was not exactly defeated. He flew from the scene and to be continued.
Yeah, as it turns out, like if you actually watch that cutscene, he just runs away. TAS stands for Tool Assisted Speedrun. Okay, so you notice there that I just did like almost all of Green Goblin's health. As it turns out, Green Goblin's health in this level is really wacky and is just... he takes a different amount of damage than he normally would, or than like random thugs would. So by using double web gloves and not double web gloves, just regular web gloves and an air homing punch, it just takes out most of his health. If I were to put on double web gloves there, it would actually KO him, but it would prevent the level from being completed. So you just have to web up the structure right here that Goblin attacks before you're allowed to deal more damage to Goblin, because it's pretty much impossible to sequence break this level. If you try to, it just doesn't work. So we go to the bridge here that Green Goblin plans on attacking next, and just, wait patiently, because we got time. So, right
Would you
here,
like to explain enhanced combat and classic combat now?
Yeah, sure. So, classic combat, if you've ever played Spider-Man 2000 for like the Nintendo 64, you'll notice that your web attacks use pressing like forward, left, right, or down, and the web button. And classic mode in this also does that. But if you're using enhanced, then you hold the L button and press one of the face buttons, A, B, X, or Y, to do a web attack instead. So, Green Goblin, down but not out. In this next level, we'll actually fight him for realsies. Well, mostly for real. So, right off the bat, you're going to notice me shoot a bunch of web and swing kick and shoot more web. This is to get Goblin off of his glider because he has a blue health bar like Vulture. So, when he's down like that, he gets off his glider and he goes into the first building there. And we picked up Sting earlier. It's pretty important here. So we whittle down Green Goblin's health bar pretty low, do pretty good damage to him, and then use the final hit of the Sting combo to finish him off. So this is important because normally Green Goblin gets back onto his glider and you would have to spend 30 or 40 seconds fighting him again and have to finish him in the second room he falls down into. But by using Sting, it just finishes him off right there. No biggie.
I would like to say that this is also RTA available.
Yeah. If you watched the ESA Spider-Man 2002 run, you would see that Tego Samego actually did it as well. So this level, there's bombs around the city, and you have to disarm them in a somewhat specific order. But overall, it's a really trivial level on easy. The timers are really generous, and the enemies don't do much damage. But if you're playing on hero or superhero, the timers are extremely short, and the enemies pretty much kill you in less than a second. So, yeah, it's pretty tough on the higher difficulties. But since we're on easy, just really easy level, just swing and take out the bombs pretty much. Apparently, there was going to be a kind of bomb minigame for these, which was scrapped but used in the PSP version of Spider-Man 2, which it's actually a really bad puzzle, and I'm glad they didn't put it in this level because it's terrible. So, yeah. So let's disarm this last bomb and call it a day. Yeah.
There's a good question in chat.
When's the hard TAS?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. It's on my channel, Natetheman223 Gamer, on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so for this next level, there's Green Goblin again, and he spits out these razor bats, which, if you swing kick them, you can actually destroy them pretty much as soon as they appear before they spread out. Because once they spread out, they're just a total nightmare to deal with. So, swing kick him as he spits them out, and also manipulate his location to be close to the end of the level. So, yeah, so I get him to go over here because the end of the level is in that construction site. So I just stay near it and let Goblin slowly make his way over to me. So now that the 50 razor bats are destroyed, we can just progress to the end of the level. Yeah, I know the electric sound or the destruction sounds of those are pretty loud. Sorry about that. So this level is essentially the beginning of the end. it's a stealth level. You're expected to go through Oscorp offices here completely without getting spotted, but it really doesn't matter all that much if you get spotted. So there's 5 computers around the offices, and you have to get the passcode, a part of the passcode from each one of them. It's not randomized. It doesn't matter too much what order you go in, but I just go in the fastest order here. And then, so while we're doing that, you'll notice the alarm goes off, but the levels don't fail when you get spotted, thankfully. And if you go into cover for long enough, the alarm just shuts off and they just forget you're there. And if you look at this thug right here, he just walks right up in front of me and just doesn't notice me. So yeah, we go through the security door and use the panel on the other side of the room and put the passcode in the correct order. And that's the end of the level. So this next level is actually it's pretty similar, I'd say. Chemical Chaos is what it's called. And there's 4 of these little panels you have to activate throughout the room and use them in a specific order. So for the start here, we just head on over. Again, alarms really don't matter. So we head over to door B here and then door A. It doesn't matter if you do A or B first, but it does matter that you hit the right side switch in that mixing chamber room. If you press the left side switch, you fail the level. So now we go to door D, and it's locked. But while we wait for the scientist with the key card to come by, we activate door C, and then we get his key card, and then we go over to door D and activate the D panel. So we head on over back to the mixing chamber and use the left panel to finish the level.
I would like to say that I play this casually, and I got stuck in this level. I haven't finished the game yet because of that.
I get it. It's not like a really fun level. Yeah, so for this next level, there's 10 generators around the room, and you have to destroy all of them before you can destroy the main robot. So if you use lock on camera, you can actually shoot the generators from extremely far away with your web balls, and it makes the level really fast. So then you can just do like a single uppercut to the robot's brain, it looks like, and that's the end of the level. It was a pretty short level, I'd say. Pretty good.
I thought it's not a brain, but the nape of the robot, and I think it gave inspiration for the Titans on how to kill them.
Is that an anime reference?
I believe so.
Okay, so Escape from Oscorp. For this level, you have to... Well, you're expected to do a bunch of things to turn off all the security measures, but we say screw all that and just go straight to the end of the level here. Normally, you would have to turn off, 2 different security measures, and then, you could progress to the end, but if you're brave, you can just go right past all of it. And so we've made it out of Oscorp.
Did you grab a web pickup?
In that elevator that I opened, it was actually a health pickup. I just did it purely for swag. There's no other reason to grab it. So for this level, it says keep up with Goblin, but it's actually faster to stay as far away from Goblin as possible. Now, let me explain here. So Green Goblin, he sets down these traps all over the place, and if you're close to him when he sets the trap, he'll actually stop in place when he sets it. But if you're really far away, he'll keep his momentum and just keep going. So it's best to stay as far away from him as possible. So the distance meter on easy is actually really generous. You could just stay really far away from him and you won't fail the level. But on higher difficulties, he moves really fast, and you actually do have to stay relatively close to him if you want to beat the level. So yeah, this level is primarily just an auto scroller, diet auto scroller because it's not 100% auto scroller because you stay far away.
Alright, the story behind this mission is that Goblin has kidnapped Mary Jane and now Spidey wants to chase him. By the way, there were 2 exclusive levels that are exclusive to the Xbox version that are not present here because this is the GameCube version. Why were they exclusive for the Xbox version? We don't know. They involve Kraven the Hunter chasing down Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're pretty good levels. It's a shame they're not in every single version of the game. So the mission should be ending here in just a few more seconds.
And then it's time for the final fight.
Yeah, so get ready on time. So I'll say it when it happens, but it'll be the last hit on Green Goblin. So Green Goblin, like before, he has 2 health bars, a blue one and a red one. And by knocking off his blue health bar, you make him vulnerable to his red health bar. And when his red health bar is done, he's done. So just get ready on time here. So shoot a ton of web at him, swing kick, everything, and time. Yeah. So that is Spider-Man 2002 in 25 minutes and 34 seconds.
Enjoy the ending.
Yeah. I'll be kind of quiet and let it play out here for a minute.
Yes, I suppose you would be. But the best surprise is still to come.
There's just one more thing to say after this cutscene, so don't cut us off yet.
Yeah.
Tell Harry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as it turns out, Green Goblin, William Dafoe, Norman Osborn, whatever you want to call him, he in this game he says, "Tell Harry I'm sorry," but in the movie he says, "Don't tell Harry." Yeah, and also, you're expected to save Mary Jane from the bridge before you fight Green Goblin, but we didn't do that because it's slow, so, you know, saving time and all that.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. I put a lot of work into it. I have more tool-assisted speedruns on my YouTube channel, and also copyrighted music. So, yeah.